Are you still awaiting your tax refund payment that's probably in the amount of thousands and thousands of dollars? Well, if you are, you're certainly not alone. However, if you happen to be waiting, you may want to watch the date of Monday, March 2nd, as this is the date in which a lot of money is going to start flowing yet again, especially if you happen to be somebody that claimed the EITC, the Earned Income Tax Credit, or the ACTC, which is the Advanced Child Tax Credit Payment, as the IRS/Treasury was not allowed legally to start sending that money out until the middle of February. Now, since we're beyond that point, they can start sending that money out. But remember, it takes the IRS in general about 21 days to process tax returns, and therefore those refunds would be sent out after that. Well, I have this article. In fact, let's pop this article up right here, right now. Feel free to read through the details. In fact, I'm going to be fair with you. It's actually 2 screenshots. It's an article with 2 screenshots that I took out of it. That's what I want to share with you. But here's the information on this, which is super interesting. Over the last few months here, we heard some details coming out where lawmakers were suggesting and advisors within the White House were suggesting that we would see tax refund payments breaching $4,100, which would be the largest refund payments we've ever seen in the history of this country. However, now they're anticipating average tax refund payments to be $3,800. Now, to be fair, that's not much less than the $4,100 estimate that they put out, but nonetheless, it's $300 per person across tens of millions of refunds. We're talking about billions of dollars of money that's not going out to people because that estimate has come down pretty substantially. Now, this is, to be fair, up quite a bit from the $3,052 that people got a year ago and the $3,004 on average that people got 2 years ago, okay? So it is quite a bit more. To be fair, it's substantially more, hundreds and hundreds of dollars more, but it still is below the $4,100 estimate that they did put up. But here's the interesting part about this. As of right now, and according to this article that I'm sharing with you, the IRS has received about 22.6 million tax returns, and they have refunded over 20 million refunds so far, totaling billions and billions of dollars that has been refunded. Now, the average refund payment has been about $2,200. Actually, to be fair, it's a little less than $2,300 that has gone out. But the interesting part about that, this is the data not including those refunds that have gone out because of the EITC, again, the Earned Income Tax Credit, and the ACTC. Now, once those payments start going out, which will literally start flowing here in a matter of days, when those payments start going out, then those average refund payments will go up substantially. They're anticipating those to go up to just under $4,000, as we just talked about right there. Now, the reason that I mentioned March 2nd, it's a Monday, March 2nd, is because the Treasury/IRS, they start processing these refunds basically after February 15th. Now, there's a law that was put in place, the PATH Act, P-A-T-H, PATH Act. Because of that, this went into law just not that many years ago, by the way. It's not like a super old thing. It's only been around a handful of years. But basically because of all of the different scams and fraud and things like that have been coming up over the last several years with identity theft and people coming in and trying to intercept tax refund payments and things like that, because of that, they passed the PATH Act. And because of that, they cannot start sending out or issuing refunds because of the EITC or Advanced Child Tax Credit payments until after February 15th, okay? So they can't start processing those. However, just because they start processing them on February 15th, which, by the way, that was several days ago now when February 15th took place, but now that we're beyond that, they can start issuing these refund payments. But it takes them time. So because of that, they're anticipating, again, highlighted in that article that I popped up for you, they basically isolated March 2nd. It's a Monday. March 2nd is the date in which this money would likely start flowing in a pretty meaningful way, hitting bank accounts in the form of those refund payments going out to these millions and millions of individuals, which honestly, pretty exciting, right? So these individuals that claimed, again, the EITC, the Earned Income Tax Credit, along with the ATC, or I should say, not along with, but rather and or the ACTC, the Advanced Child Tax Credit payments, that's when that money would likely start hitting. So basically anytime March 2nd or after is when the bulk of these refund payments will likely start to hit bank accounts for, again, millions and millions of people all across the country. Now, they're anticipating, again, based on some remarks out of the Treasury Secretary over the last couple months here, Scott Bessent, he has indicated that we're talking hundreds of billions of dollars worth of refunds to be distributed. And they're talking upwards of $300 billion to be distributed to tens of millions of people, literally, basically, or, literally between, say, early February, when those refunds started hitting accounts, all the way out until basically the end of April for those individuals that filed their returns right at the last minute, which is April 15th. Obviously, it's going to take some time there. Now, how do they come up with this data, and when can you anticipate this? Well, obviously, I don't know your exact situation. It's going to be different for everybody, but remember this much as well. The IRS generally says give them 21 days. From the time that you file your return, give them 21 days to process your return and issue those refunds. They basically say 21 days, we won't have any answers for you within 21 days. If you call us, we won't have an answer, okay? So don't call the IRS. If you have filed your return within the last 21 days, don't call them. They're not going to have any answers for you, okay? That's generally what they say. About 90% of returns are processed and refunds are refunded within that 21-day period of time, which is, a pretty quick turnaround. But at the end of the day, when people are awaiting thousands and thousands of dollars to be returned to them, that 21 days feels like forever, right? We probably all agree with that. It feels like forever. Come on, I just need the money right now today, right? So it's not necessarily a fun time to wait, but you could always check the Where's My Refund tool if you want to. It's on the IRS website. Go to irs.gov. You can check out the Where's My Refund tool. And remember this much as well. That is just federal tax refund payments, okay? Federal tax refund payments. So if you're in a state where you have filed your tax return with your respective state and you're expecting a refund from your state, you're not going to find your tracking of your state refund there. You got to look at your own Department of Revenue website for your respective state, or whatever it happens to be called in your respective state, but you'll need to go to their website and use their Where's My Refund tool, or whatever they call it with your state. But the IRS, you go to the IRS website, irs.gov, and you look at the Where's My Refund tool, and you can track it there. And remember, you only need to look at that once per day. It only updates overnight, one time overnight, so no need to sit there and check it 20 times a day, because it's only going to have the same answer for you. It only updates one time overnight. So just check it once a day, okay? And the reason I want to say that is because it's easy to drive ourselves crazy checking that tool like 15 times a day. What does it say now? Well, it's going to say the exact same thing that it did earlier today, okay? Just want to give you that information so you're not driving yourself up a wall looking for the latest information and the latest updates on that. But regardless, this is an exciting time for a lot of people, but it's also a very discouraging and frustrating time for a lot of people as well, as we're in this time where tons of people are getting tons of money, thousands and thousands of dollars, but at the same time, there's also tons of people that are getting absolutely nothing right now, which is super frustrating. And then, of course, there's also the handful of people out there, which is actually multiple millions of people, that are on the opposite side of that are paying in even worse, right? So you've got this spectrum where you've got some people getting thousands of dollars back, you're getting some people that are getting nothing, and then you've got on the total opposite side of the spectrum, you've got a bunch of people that are paying in, and you got everywhere in between, right? So it's this nasty cycle and this nasty spectrum. Depends on where you're at in the spectrum. Hopefully you're on the receiving side versus the paying side. But yeah, it's going to be different for everybody. Anyway, just want to point this out for you really quickly because I know it can be very discouraging this time of year when you're awaiting your tax refund payment to come in. You're waiting and it's taking forever. But if you claimed the EITC, the Earned Income Tax Credit, or the ACTC, the Additional Child Tax Credit Payment, if you claimed either of those or both of them, just recognize you're probably not going to get your refund until at least early March at the absolute earliest, okay? But it's likely going to come sometime in maybe middle of March even, by the time it actually gets to you, because they legally couldn't start sending those out until after February 15th. And again, you can thank the PATH Act for that. Feel free to look that up if you want to. I've talked about that extensively in other videos over the last few weeks here. You can check that out. Anyway, I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. Again, make sure to stay tuned. We've got a very weird time that we're going through right now. It's a very interesting time, a lot of things that are happening. But if you did go ahead and file, and if you got your refund, hey, congratulations. That's really cool. And of course, I'll continue to keep you posted on everything going on, especially that $2,000 dividend/stimulus that the president has talked about multiple times, as well as any other distributions of money, cash, anything like that. Obviously, I'll bring it to your attention right away. Thanks again for watching this. Please subscribe if you're new here. Big subscribe button down below. Please share the video. Big share button down below. Otherwise, check out the well over 6,000 videos here on the channel in the video library. I'm here for you. Please enjoy your day. Take care. Thanks again. Drop your comments, your questions, your feedback down below. Otherwise, have a good one, and I'll catch you again later in the next video.